I want to give this as informative video for other women in hopes that it touches the right person, because so many of it, like relationships, love, like there's so many of us that just came here to learn lessons, and you're learning so much through that, and I can't tell you who to choose or what to do or any of that. Motherhood has changed me completely, and I wouldn't say I love every minute of it. That would be lying, but it's like, it's precious to me. But it's equally scary on the days that I'm like, I feel the weight of everything, or that I don't know if I'm going to be able, I don't know if my nervous system or my stability, I don't know how much I can actually handle. It's a terrifying space to be in, because we've been through so much survival, and because of the way my kids' behaviors are, and I don't have a tribe, and I don't want to say completely I don't have support, because my dad has been there in some ways for us, but I know that there's very likely that I'm going to have to leave everybody behind, and I don't know how. At this point, I have no idea how I'm going to manage any of that. So this is to hopefully help someone to not get yourself in this situation. I know for me, there's specific things, like it's brought me to the path that I'm meant to be on. Like, I know there's that, but like, there were flat red flags that I blatantly ignored. Like, I didn't know. I see the connection now that like I grew up in a broken family, and then I was choosing broken people, but broken isn't the I remember one time before we were dating, and we would go out in like groups, so like friends and stuff, and like the people that I lived with, and like we just go out in groups and stuff like that. And I remember my ex saying one time, like, I was like in conversation, and it was something about like he didn't care about anything or something. It was something like off the cuff, but he was always very driven. Like, his work was real important to him, like all of his studies, like he was very driven. And he's mostly calm-natured. Like, he's pretty stoic most of the time. Like, he's very intelligent. And we didn't have fights and stuff like that. Like, we got along. We still, most of the time, were able to be cordial. Like, we were friends. We got along because we hung out. Like I said, before I even started dating him, like, we hung out with other people and stuff. He never made the first move. I remember we had been hanging out, and I do think we were like, I was sitting in his lap or something. And so, but I remember I kissed him first. And someone else had told me that he was like, or like that he was into me or whatever. But like, there were other things that happened. Like, we were watching a movie one time, and I think it was that movie where they had to survive off of like eating other people, and I don't know what the movie title is. And like some of the survivors were like, no, I'm not doing that. And I remember my ex at that point was like, yeah, I would kill someone and eat them to like survive. And I was like, I remember how like in my body it was like a feeling of terror, because it was like, did I just hear that correctly? Like, I was like, what in the world? And we used to go to like a gun shooting range and stuff, and he was all about like he always carries guns around on him. And now to this day, I'm not against men if you want to have guns or whatever, and y'all it's a lot of fun. If you like need to get some stress out or whatever, it's very fun to go target shooting. But I personally feel like people that carry that, like it's not that there's not truth in it, or that it's not like there's not logic to it. It's logical, but it's like, to me, it's like if you walk around and you have to have a gun on you, on your person, if you're not a cop, y'all, I'm talking about, obviously if it's like not for your business, like that to me says that you don't trust you're ready to kill somebody. And there were other things, like he told me that he wasn't against hitting a woman if he in self-defense if he had to. Like, this would happen, that was like way later that we had that conversation. He never put a hand on me when we would fight. We would throw stuff at each other. It got real crazy after having a baby. Thankfully, again, we didn't fight all the time, so I don't know how it wasn't worse than it was. There was one other thing. Oh, I know the main thing I wanted to say, because you may or may not get these types of conversations where you feel like, okay, there's a red flag. Watch and observe the people, the friends and the people, like obviously the family and stuff too, but like his family it took a while as well for me to see people can wear masks or be fake nice and stuff. So, plus, a lot of times it's just like, for me, even with my family, it was just when I walked away, and then they think, oh, now it's game on, now it's a fight. And it's like, no, I'm just trying to live my life. Anyway, so a lot of people are that way when it's like, now you're the ex, so now we're enemies. And it's like, it doesn't have to be that way, but that's how some people are. So anyway, look at the people that are the friends. There's people out here, of course. I'm trying to do this. The people that your person is friends with, and if they're not like good friends, or they don't care about anything or whatever, like I recognize this way later, that stuff's coming through. I wasn't picking up on these clues that spirit was trying to show me. And it's like, it is what it is for like the other people that I dated, like a lot of that I walked away from and I didn't have kids with. Those were just difficult lessons. But then when you have a child with someone, and he told me he wanted to take this job opportunity, and he was like, if I had it my way, Teddy would be with me. And he was like, if you guys want to move there, I'll pay for you to have a place to live. And I was like, okay, so you just turn the crazy all the way up now. Okay. And he will, like, he helps, he'll pay for therapies. He helps whenever, if I ask him, he'll help with stuff. And, but he has a way of controlling it. And I remember one time when he was here, when he was still coming down and staying, he used to come do that sometimes and stay nearby, or sometimes I think he did stay with me to be able to be with Teddy. He talked about all these guns that he was talking about getting, and I was like, oh, so you have money for other things, but you're not willing to give more to help us out. And so there were things like that I picked up on, after I'm already a single parent and that sort of thing. And there's stuff like that where it's like that there's a wall, there's a stubbornness that person's not going to budge on. Like my ex threatened to take me to court when he found out that I wasn't telling him my kid was in homeschool, and it was a battle between our families and stuff. So it's not fun being in a situation where you don't have more support, and you realize you're around people that think that they're your enemy, when that's only a thing that people come up with. Like, that's not really a thing, especially when it's fine. It is what it is. If the family wants to do that and they want to go. I knew that already about my mom, because I knew that she talked about me, but a lot of that stuff started happening after I had a child. It was like all this awakening and all these like realizations started happening after having a kid, and you're already reeling because you're having to figure out how to be a mom now and manage it all and work and not kill yourself. So, all right, be safe out there.